Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live launch of the brand new start of Chapter 2 of Christmas. You've asked for it, which is why we've done it. So it's a whole brand new collection. Again, it's not massive, just like Chapter 1. We've not done this too large a collection. We've just made a relatively small, and this is the first drop tonight. And I know everyone absolutely loved the robin that we did. People were absolutely crazy over the robin, and it completely sold out. So I've done a whole new robin frame, which I've got to say, I personally, and I know our Leslie thinks, is actually nicer. So I think it's actually, nicer, and it goes in combination with the other one. So they both work together absolutely beautifully, the original robin and this new one, and it has that beautiful frame. You see there the wonderful postage edge. There you can see that beautiful postage frame, which is a 5.5-inch frame. You can add the little inserts in it to give you the little cross stitch detail. You've got the brand new large Merry Christmas, which is a large die. And now you're looking at one of the video cards for it. And again, another one of the video cards, 4 videos already ready there. And a beautiful collection of dies. So good evening, everybody. Sorry, I've got this in me face. Let's move him up a little bit, and then we'll zoom in a little bit in a minute. But good evening. Welcome to the Art of Craft. Welcome to the live launch. This is a live and exclusive launch. So remember, everything I'm going through tonight, and there's some great deals on the show as well, are brand new. And they are exclusive. In fact, they are so brand new that I can't even show you them in packaging, because I haven't even got them in packaging yet. So don't worry about that. I'm going to show you the dies and everything, but I can't show you the beautiful package that these come in. And these are, to me, lovely. I mean, I know I'm going to say that. I'm supposed to. But I've adored working with these. And at first I struggled, and then I looked at some of the samples and thought, my gosh, the girls have gone crazy. So what are we talking about? What is tonight's new exclusive live launch? It is this. It is the brand new large. It's 5.5 inches, this. And it is, let's go down onto the overhead so you can actually see it a little bit better. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just so that you don't see the edge of my desk. Nobody wants to see that, or my drink that's there, or anything. This is the first die in this set. I really should say some good evening. So good evening, Crafter. Good evening, Nicola. Travelling to Australia tomorrow. We've got Biddy watching. We've got Elaine, Susan Micklebatch, our lovely Janet McRae, and I hope Oreo's watching as well. Deborah Wollenscroft. Who else have we got? Beverly, loads. Leslie, Marion, loads of you watching. So thank you for watching. Really genuinely do appreciate that you're watching the show. Bear with me. I'm just going to open the door so I get a proper signal. With all the storms, it's been throwing all the internet out. So this is the first die. Now you're going to be able to get both of them. So you're going to be able to get both of them. I've just upped the signal strength. Someone said it keeps freezing on Facebook, but hopefully it'll be all right. But we shall see. I don't know why it's playing us up. So you're going to get both the large Merry Christmas, and just look at that. It is, I mean, we're talking a very large die on this one. I'll go through them individually in a minute, but the space it actually takes up is over 2 inches. So it's 2.5 inches by 4 inches by 2.5 inches. That's just the piece itself. So you can get both of these for just £26.10, which I think is absolutely crazy. Is a ridiculously crazy price for what we're getting. So I'm going to take you through first of all, because you might want them individually. Remember, you are saving 10% on this. And I just have to say that over half the stock, and this is an increased stock level. So we have got more stock level than we had of the original Christmas. So we don't actually miss out. Oh no, Oreo's asleep on Janet's desk. I always like it when the cats are watching, and Meggie, our wonderful, Meggie is our craft cave dog. She might not live here, she's Sam's, but she's our sponsored dog as far as I'm concerned. But we have increased the level of stock on these. and we are still over half of it gone before we came to air. So just so that everyone is sort of well aware of that, I don't want to worry anyone. So this is your first one, your JND 578 Robin frame. And I'll give you this one individually just in case you want that. So you can get it individually at $21.99, but I've got to be honest, I think you would be a little bit daft to pay $21.99 for this, because it's going to be free P&P because it's over £20, when you can add in the a large Merry Christmas for just over, I mean, let me get this pricing right. So 26, 10, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So basically, this die is only costing you £4.10 if you get the bundle. So you might as well get the bundle because it's ridiculous. Mel says she's got hers earlier. Thank you, Mel. And Anne Mountjoy and Susan said they got them earlier. And they're reasonably priced too. We always try our hardest to keep them reasonably priced. I should say hello as well to YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I'll go forward. Hello, YouTube. So I have got YouTube comments on now. Patricia Young. Hello, John. So happy to see you on the YouTube and also back on TV. I'm an avid collector of your first, etc. Best wishes. PST. Washington. I knew you when you went to Ellen's. I loved it when I went to Ellen's. That was a wonderful, wonderful shop, a wonderful demo. A couple of demo days. I did some workshops up there as well, up in the castle. So, going to take you through this one. Sorry, guys, I'm waffling. You know, I'm like, when I get excited, I get really, really waffly. So, this is your perfect frame, Robin frame die. So, let's just have a look. There we go, got that back up. So, just refresh if Facebook's having a problem. So what you're going to get in this is there's so much in it. I was talking to Jane earlier and she went, how have you possibly packed all of that into one die set? And it's just the way I do it. So first of all, you get the beautiful frame. And this cuts you the most stunning. And I've got one somewhere. Oh, I've got all my pieces. I get excited and then I miss bits out. So, there we go. You get the beautiful postage frame in this, which has those really cool postage edges inside and outside, which you can use all year long. You genuinely could use this all year long. But you've also got the inserts in it, and you can see there with the insert, and I'm not sure if you can see that closely enough. Let's try and get a little bit closer. You've got, there we go, you've got that beautiful cross-stitch detail, just like oh, Amanda says after watching the Zoom class yesterday, she ordered the bow maker. The bow maker is different than all the others. I knew hoped people would see that. So you've got that frame. Then you've got the 4 inserts, which you can use together with it or separately. Yeah. But then you've also got here a separate square outside line to give you another layer in that frame, or to cut out the other frame. Then you've got a circle, which again fits in that other frame. So you can make yourself the most beautiful layer. Just to show you here, you can make the most beautiful layer with those 4 corners of, I know I shouldn't say this, but they're stunning. They're like modern holly. So you can insert, you can paper piece, or you can do what I've done, use the brilliant glitter pens to just colour behind. But apart from all of that, then you've actually got the robin. So you've got an outside line and you've got all the detail. So you can cut him in and you can cut him out. But look, how cute. How much does that look like something you've bought in the shops that's come from a paper pad or something cut out? And that's not even fully paper pieced. That's only the red and the black eye paper pieced. If you watch the video, you'll see everything else is just a piece of brown on the back. How easy is that? So that is your robin. You've also got here a really stunning, and I got to stop saying this, version of that stylized holly. Can you see there? And you get a solid inside and then an outside bit. Yeah. And you get that beautiful stylized holly, and it just goes so well with our robin. Because look, I mean, just a simple Christmas card cut like that. I should have used some of that on the video one. Yeah, so that is all included in this one set, and it is just £21.99 if you want that set on its own. However, to be honest, the best value and what most of you are going for, as I said, over half of the stock has already gone. So we've already sold over half of the stock of the bundles, and it was a higher stock than normal. So I'm not saying that to worry anyone, but we did up it from the last Christmas, because so we've gone a lot higher up on this one. So it's like, please hope everyone likes it. So that's your robin, but in your bundle, you're going to get the large, well, that's an extra one, sorry. You're going to get the large Merry Christmas as well. And I think this is stunning, and I've got to show you. This is the Zoom card we made yesterday, but look how large that Merry Christmas is. This is a 7-inch frame that it fits in. Amanda's just said that's a lot of metal for your money. It is, Amanda, it really is. But that Merry Christmas is really big as well. You're talking sort of 4 inches by 3 inches. It's a really big die. Emma says it looks so real as the way the robin's looking. It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? But even the card we made yesterday, look what happens if I put a little robin on him. I mean, it just works. Sorry. I could keep going on about this all the time. So this is your large Merry Christmas. Now, you may think, right, okay, I've got a robin, or I'm not into robins. I just want that sentiment. That sentiment is fab. You can buy the sentiment on its own, and that is only £6.99. Oh, that's very kind. Anne Mountjoy said, not surprised that that amount has gone. It's a fantastic set. Thank you, Anne. We get really worried, Jane and I, because it's really, you know, it's a collaboration between the two of us. So you can get this on its own at £6.99. If that's all you fancy, that's not a problem. But what I would say is the best value is to get that bundle, because you're talking about getting this for just £4. I think it's £4.11 this costs you in the bundle. And it's so much better value. But if you want it on its own, you can get it. Remember, you've got a 10% discount. It's exclusive to us here at The Art of Craft, which means it isn't available currently from anywhere else at all. It's not going to be on TV or anything. This is just for you guys. So you can get this on its own, or you can get it as a bundle. And remember, it's over £20, so it's free P&P in the UK. For other countries, we will send to other countries apart from the US at the moment, unfortunately. And that is done on price for your charge what it costs. Elaine says she loves the Zoom class card. The Zoom class card's stunning. We've got the last Zoom of the year in November. That's on the website if anyone wants to have a look and get ahead for that one. I was going to say it's going to be non-Christmas, but everyone keeps asking me to make it another Christmas. But this frame is not just for Christmas. I'm going to run you through a few of the bits we've got on the show as well. I've got to show you that one of Leslie's. And then I'm going to run through some samples, because these are just absolutely beautiful. They really are. So let's just, I think the camera's starting to play up a little bit. So I'm going to take you forward and show you a few samples while we sort that one out. But look at that. I think that is just absolutely beautiful. Let's pull some more in of the robin while we're doing this. So look, these are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful samples using that frame again. And you could use this, as someone said, for other birds. You could use this to make other birds. It doesn't have to be a robin. You could colour it in blue and, you know, get a blue tit and things like that, and a sparrow and things. These are absolutely, I think, gorgeous, gorgeous samples. So let's just look through these. I love these. What I'm going to do is, I'm having a bit of problem with the overhead, so I'm going to play you the video, which gives you time to click over to the website if you want to, and that gives me a minute just to sort out my overhead. Right, it looks like a little bit messily. I've got the overhead going on this one. Jacqueline says she likes the snowflake embossing folder. It is available on the Art of Craft website. It is one of mine, that's snowflake embossing folder, if you want that one. But just to show you some of the others. Oh, there we go. I thought it was freezing then. Just absolutely stunning. Love these. Absolutely love these. So let's put those to one side. Let's see if we can connect that one. We'll have to update it all again because it seems to be doing it. So the other things we've got on the show tonight, if you want to, and it's frozen again. I don't know why this keeps happening, guys. I am really, really sorry. I don't know if it's because my phone's updated or what. We've just bought a new one as well to do this with. So I flicked her off. So is there two robins, says Jacqueline. Jacqueline, there are two robins. We did a previous robin, which was on a branch, which was smaller, and this is the larger one to match with it. So a couple of other bits we've got on the show. If you missed out on the sentiment, we have a limited stock of the Christmas wishes sentiment in, which is just $3.99. So we have got that in. We've also put in a pack of the we have put in a card that I've actually used. We have put in the pack of the card that we've used. And I just don't understand why this is really, really not connecting. Sorry, I'm trying to reconnect it. Sorry about this, guy. Right. It's not, yeah, it's the fact that I can't get the overhead to work at all. So we're going to have to tilt down, which means I'm going to have to move that. And we're going to try and tilt down. So I'm going to have to show you what I'm doing. Not the best angle or the best shot, I'm afraid, guys. So, but I want to show you how to put this together. So we don't know what's going on here, but at least you get to see a different side than you normally see. And I'm trying to work out which is the best way to do this. So let's see if we can close that one. Let's stop it connecting to that. Sorry about this, guys. I am trying to get all of this sorted. No, it's not going to do it. It's not going to connect to anything else apart from the main one I'm doing it. So, computer says no. Computer says no. Right. So I'm going to have to try and show you badly tonight. I'm going to have to demo badly tonight. Remember, you have got the videos. And we've got a full signal strength, so we've no idea what's going on. I think it might need updating or something again. So what I'm going to do to start with is I've taken a piece of coconut white and I'm going to use the two dyes together for the robin. So what I'm going to do is, and you're seeing better down here, aren't you? Yay, we could almost see down there. So I'm going to take the outside line and I'm going to take the inside line. And I'm going to put both of them together and I'm going to use a long piece of tape to tape them together. Just like that. This is all you need to do to make the detailed robin. And you run that through and you cut him. I will cut him so that you can actually see. I have already got him cut, but I will cut him so you can see how easy this is to cut. You can see there, literally, he pops out and you get all of the bits. So you've actually got there the perfect frame with that really, really fine level of detail. That's by cutting the two together, yeah? But what I want to do is I want to have a backer for him. I want this is to be the simplest that we can do. So I'm going to take the outside line on its own, and I'm going to cut him in just a piece of brown. So I'm going to put him down to a piece of brown card, again just a scrap, and cut him through. Now again, I've already got this one cut, so I'm going to bring out the ones I've got cut here, because I tried to speed it up a little bit to make it a little bit easier. So the simple way is all I do is to stick that down. Yeah, nice and simple. So I'm going to use a bit of spray glue for speed. And I'm just going to pop it on, and it will fit exactly because you're using exactly the same die. And you can see there, already he looks like a finished robin. Yeah, he looks like he's a finished robin. But all I need to do to finish this one the simplest way possible is, let's pull him right down to the front. I've cut that inside die in red. So I've just cut the little face. And all I'm going to do is to take a little bit of glue glaze and just pop it into the space. So I'm putting it into the space, and I'm going to pick up and I'm just going to drop that in. And there we have, really simply, in 2 cuts, our robin. Really, really easy. Beautiful and easy to do. Was just looking at all that cardstock, definitely envious. Yeah, there's a large investment in that cardstock, Mel. And then to put the black eye in, you can colour through, or I've cut an extra piece in black, because obviously I've got a black robin. So all I do is pop the little eyepiece out of it and into that space. There we go. Again with some glue glaze. So then we've got our little robin sitting. But all I want to do is to bring him to life. And this is one of my favourite things to do, which is just to use a little white gel pen or a white pencil and just put a little white dot in the eye. And it really brings him totally to life. And you see there, he really looks really alive when we do that. And I think that's what's so fabulous about it. And then, let's have a look. Bear with me. So I'm trying to keep up with everything. But again, here's one I did in black. Exactly the same. One in white, one in black. Let's get them in the right place. There we go. One in white, one in black. But how different do they look depending on the colour? So that's our simple robin. We can do a slightly more complicated robin. And I was going to show you that as well. So this time I've got some of our double-sided adhesive and I've put it onto just a piece of scrap card. And I'm just going to cut our robin outline out of him. So in we go. Because I know some people like our Leslie absolutely love a little bit of paper piecing. So there's my robin cut in the adhesive. I'm going to take the protective off the top. There we go. And I'm just going to drop the white simple one or detailed one on top. Just like that. Into place. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. Yeah. And then I've taken my pieces. And I've lost a couple of pieces here, so this will be interesting. I'm going to take a little dauber. I'm going to take some vintage sepia ink. And I've cut all the different pieces from 2 colours, from that tea colour of cards. So if you're wondering what colour card I'm using the black, the beautiful Christmas red, and the tea colour that we have. And I'm just going to drop that in. So I just thought we would work. Who said that? The black looks like stained glass. That's Sarah Jane Kennedy. Thank you, Sarah Jane. I really think it does. I think it's got a real, but using the black, and you know how rarely I use black. You can see by the fact that we've got black in one of the card packs tonight, which is only £9.99. So that's 4, 8, 12. You're saving like £3 on that. That's crazy. But what I'm doing is, I'm just dropping each of the pieces in. I was hoping you could see this and you can't because I'm going too far ahead again. So just colouring it like this and dropping each of the pieces in. And that's how we get that little bit more of a 3D. Now, what I've actually got here is I've cut one part of the wing that little bit darker. So I'm just going to drop him in. There we go. Oops, you can see me drawer breaking. That's where I keep my card blanks. And then I've got a little bit of his head piece, because I wanted to show you how, drop that in. I think I've probably lost a little bit of I've lost the little bit of the beak. But it's basically, how do we do these pieces? And it's really, really simple. So I've got some more of the tea. I take that detailed robin, and don't use the outside on him, because this is the start of your next card, and you cut it through. Right. So we're just going to cut that. That was the doorbell going. If anyone was wondering. Right, so let's get these bits. So what bit have I missed? So I've missed his beak, and I've dropped it, managed to drop that out again. So I've dropped that, but I've dropped that somewhere, and I'm missing his feet. So let's just pop his feet out, and I don't have to bother inking those. I can just, there we go, drop his feet straight in. So let's just drop his feet straight in, just like that. There we go. I'm not going to get through anywhere near the number of demos I wanted to do, am I? I've found his beak, I think. So let's just, oh, it was Amazon trying to deliver. And let's just drop his little bit in there. That's not the beak bit. And if you do this, I'm sorry, because the technology's messing up. We can tell you are at home, John. Yeah, I know. I'm at home doing this. I've just poked myself with the poke tool. So I'm just putting a little bit on. Oh, I like that, Anne Mountjoy. Avon calling. No, it's not Avon. Oh, dear. Honestly, tonight, everything was going so smoothly. Everything was planned and done. So just a scrap of red. Going to grab the die again. And it doesn't even have to be on the right bit. And I'm just going to run that through and cut my red so that I can give it. And you've got a choice of where you put the red. You could give him the sort of the breast at the bottom, but I like the fact that it's his main head that does it. So here we go. Let's get this out. So what I want to do with this red piece again is still shade it. I want to show you a difference between doing it the short way and the long way. Then we're going to make up a card. And any demos I don't get filmed tonight because of losing the overhead, I will try and do for you all as videos. And I'm very good at promising that. I'm not great at delivering it. I'm really annoyed. Oh, there it is. I've just found the beak. I don't know why I put that little bit in. It's not right. Let's get his little beak in. There we go. Makes such a difference when he goes. Come on, don't be horrible to me. Don't do this to me. Everything else is not working. At least I can rely on my dies and my crafting. But you can see that apart from his eye, he's that little bit more shaded. He's that little bit more darker. Yeah, he really, really works. Oh, Craftaholic, that doorbell set her dogs off barking, trying to get to the front door, my silly dog. But, well, they don't know where it is, do they? And again, if you're not wanting to put in little pieces, all I'm going to do is take a Sharpie and colour the eye black. So you don't have to drop it in, and I can still put a little white dot in. So so there we have our cheat paper piece one done. And there we have our shaded one done. But I think they both look really, really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a card with this, and I'm going to try and do this the sort of quickest way I can, because obviously we haven't got a proper overhead camera, and I can't get this one to, it's on an iPad, I can't get it to go onto it. So let's see if we can still get that to connect. I think it's this that's playing up. All right, are you going to, oh my gosh. Right, I don't know how long this is going to last. There we go. Yay! I've got something at least. Right, so what I've actually done, just to get this to, is I've cut this die on its own, and this is what you'll find if you're new to John Next Door. Then you won't know I do this, and if you're not, you'll be bored of me telling you this. But I make sure all of the dies, where possible, don't have outside cutting lines. They have separate lines. So if I wanted these to go together, I could simply put them together like that and put the separate square on it and cut that out as a frame piece. But I like the ability to do things like this. So I've cut this already into a piece of coconut white that I've cut to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 because it's a really nice size to work. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a piece of green on the back. Now obviously I actually want the hole through that, but I want the hole through both of them. So a little bit of spray glue for speed. And I've made the green piece that little bit smaller. So it's kind of 5 1/8 by 5 1/8 to be smaller. So there, for straight away, I've got the green of my leaves. And if I take my circle, I can see an embossed line to tell me where to put it. And then I can put that down. And I'm going to die cut that. So clean me boards. And it will work and go through both layers. And that's one of the easiest way. Now on the video, I showed you another way to do this. So I've tried to show you through the video and through this, two completely different ways to make that completely even circle. But you can see now, if we didn't have them as separate parts, there's no way you could get the green behind it. It's designed specifically to do that. So remember, the die we're working with, you can get this on its own at $21.99. A couple of people have said that the Art of Craft website is going a little slow, but it will be there, don't worry. And we have got more stock than normal. So we did buy in more stock of this Christmas too, because Christmas chapter 1 went crazy. Now what I've done here is, again, a lot of people on the video, I've used a little bit of Pearl Dimension, yeah, but I did want to show you, because I have mentioned this before, if you're not sure on that, you're not one of those people who's happy with it, what I've done here is I've taken our white pearls and I've just coloured them with a red alcohol marker, and it shows you exactly where to put them with those 3 little holes. So I'm just going to decorate this up. Everything's getting in the way. So I'm just going to decorate this up and get them right. Go in the right place. Don't be horrible to me. Everything's been horrible so far. So at least we know it's real. Oh, somebody said, yeah, I remember grot bags, Sarah Jane, don't worry. It's definitely an 80s child kind of thing. I remember it, definitely, with Rod Hull and Emu. But can you see there? Let's show you forward on, look. It works with the little pearls as well. Gives you that little bit of 3D, but that really beautifully frames your robin. Now, because I've gone off, it's slowed down a little bit. It's not, the overhead started to play up again. So let's just turn him off and say hello to you there. Hello, it's playing up still again. Let's try, see if we can reconnect this one. If it'll work, we'll give it some time. So, I've got my panel done, okay? I've got my robin done, yeah? So, what I'm going to do now is, I've made myself a frame. So I've cut the frame, and I've just cut the frame using the beautiful frame maker. And all I have to do is cut that on its own over card. Really simple. And then I cut another piece of card, which was 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I've used the thinner die inside to connect it. So bear with me 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get this, shock this into working again. Let's stop it doing that. And then let's try again. Honestly, it's the software playing up. Right, I think we're going to be completely on, stop. We're going to be completely on front forward again. Let's try that one. Nope, it's not doing it. Sorry, guys. Right, so what I'm going to do is... Hello, June, Helford Wells. That's beautiful. Thank you. I think the frame is gorgeous. You can use that frame. I know I've done it white on white here, but I love the way it looks because that just really works. And I'm just going to frame that holly that we did. So we've got that beautiful framed holly there. And that on its own really works for me. Mel, I need a director. No, there's something playing up with the software, Mel. Having someone else wouldn't actually help. I don't know if it's updated or something again, and it's giving us the problems it gave us a few weeks ago, but it is literally on strong signal. It's putting out 28 bits and everything's working. So we'll have a look afterwards, see if it needs updating. So all I'm doing now is adding some foam tape onto the back. So I added some foam tape onto the back, but that, and of course what I've done is I sized it so it would fit perfectly the Merry Christmas. So it was designed so that the circle will actually fit the Merry Christmas perfectly. Let's put it in the right place rather than stressing, John. There you go. It's going to show all this on the overhead. So it's a really simple way we can do something like that. So there's our frame. Then I've just got, and I've used one of the 2 Christmas embossing folders. Now, we've put these on as a special offer with 10% off. So if anyone is loving the 2 embossing folders I've used with this range, one of them being this absolutely gorgeous pine cones, which just works so well with it. Oh, that's it. Look, the depth on that. I absolutely love it. The other one is the wonderful, was one of my favourite, the Hawthorn is my favourite, which gives you a space there to put it in. It's actually cut over the top. That was one of the demos I was going to do. Oh, yay, Jackie's managed to order. So all I'm going to do now is I've got myself a card blank that I've made together here. And I've gone for mantelpiece pleaser size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've gone for 8 by 8. Not made an 8 by 8 for ages. And I've matted and layered it with a little bit of the green and a little bit of that tea colour. And remember, that tea colour is in that pack. So in this card pack for £9.99, you're going to get 30 sheets, 10 of each. 10 of that beautiful, bright red. 10 of that gorgeous sort of tea colour that works so well, and of the dead black. The cardstock is really worth it. Susan Mickelbatch says the robin looks 3D on that card. It does, because it almost effectively is. So I've just glued that one down, just like that. There we go. So don't forget, I will be back on Wednesday and I will do more demos on this on Wednesday. We'll hopefully have got this sorted out. Question, are the old defaulters new this year? I think they are new this year, Emma. Yeah. I think they came in at the end of last year, but we only actually launched them this year, I think. I don't quote me massively on it. So I just need to trim down a little bit, which is all I'm doing now, where I've not stuck that on as evenly as I should have done, but that's me and that's life. There we go. And then I'm going to pop, there we go, that's why. So that then goes onto there. And I just think that looks, as it stands, and that is only 1, 2, 3 die cuts through to make that, yeah? Jackie says, I have the embossing folders, they're gorgeous and so detailed and deep. I used the pine cone the other day and can't stop looking at it, touching it. I know if you do it on satin card or mirror card, it's absolutely beautiful. It is really is crazy. So now I can obviously put my robin in. Let's see if I can go forward a little bit. There's no way I can go a little bit more forward, is there? No. Yay, you can almost see. All you're going to see is my tum-tum. But I can put my robin on. But what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of foliage, and I think it works so well. So I've cut the slimline bows. So a lot of people I know have got these. The beautiful slimline bow. But if not, I think this is one of the only Christmas ones, because we reordered these in because they were sold out. These are the only Christmas ones we have left from the old collection, I think. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put these sweeping as if they're coming, and I'll show you, I'll hold it up and show you, as if they're coming out of the frame. There we go. And out of the middle and onto the frame. So there you've got that perfect little sweep. And I'm just going to add the little pieces as well. So I'm adding the little pieces of those in because, and again, it doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be new. You know, you might have the original bows from a couple of years ago. They'll work just as well. And then I'm going to put my robin in. Now I'm going to put my robin in white because I've not put any black on this card. Yeah. But you can see that, just look. Let me put him in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a double layer of foam tape for the robin, so he stands nice and proud. There we go. So I'm going to put him in. And he's then, look, he's stood on that actual foliage. I just love that. I think it just looks so good. Anne says she loves John's pink plaster. Do you know, I don't bother with plasters. We use the low tack tape. I find if I low tack tape up when I've cut myself, within about an hour, it seals up. It just works. And it doesn't hurt when I take it off. And then I've made up some of the holly. So I've made up some of the holly from this die set. So you can see here, when I get it right, get it in the camera, John. There we go. So I'm just going to add a few of those in, just to give it. I noticed that our Leslie, whenever she does anything with flowers or foliage, she always uses at least 2 little bits of foliage. She always uses a couple. Because I think she realises it's a little bit more realistic. So she doesn't just use 1, she'll always use 2. And I thought, really, I ought to follow her and copy that idea. But it looks so much more, I don't know, it looks so much more finished when you're not just sticking to 1. And I'm just tucking that in around the legs. There we go. Let's just put our last one in. I can't work out where. Yeah, we're going to go there. But just use it, and I'm using the 3D glue gel for that. Question, would you put a sentiment on this card? I probably wouldn't, But if I did, to be honest, I would probably put on it, and I'm going to show you, because I'm terrible. I wouldn't put a stamped sentiment on, but what I would put on is a die cut sentiment. So what I'm going to use is the Christmas wishes, because that is exactly the right size to fit. So I'm just going to cut the Christmas wishes out from red. There we go. Oh, wow. Yay! I managed to get an overhead working again. Right, so I'm going to use that beautiful Christmas wishes. So I'm going to cut the Christmas wishes out from red. I'm going to cut the backer out from it in white. So let's grab a scrap of white. A little bit of takedown. I'm just going to cut those. And I want to show you two different ways. So this is why we've added this Christmas wishes onto the show. Question, I thought the rule was odd numbers for flowers, leaves, etc. It is. And it is biting at me. I shouldn't have put that extra one on. It needs to be another one there. So I will cut another one on there. But yeah, I did 4 because I'm going to do one. I was going to do one more to show you before the camera started playing me up. So to show you how to do it. So I've got the Christmas wishes because that Merry Christmas is beautiful. But I think it's just too big when we've got all of this detail on here. So we want this smaller one. But can you see, Emma, there? That is how I would sentiment it. Just there. Just like that. So you could do it with the outline. I'm not going to use the outline, but if you're a bit unsure, you can use the outline on it. I want to use that on its own, and what I would do with that is spray glue it. Because I can then go across. This is why I'll always be a die cut sentiment as opposed to a stamp sentiment person, really. Because there, look, you've got those Christmas wishes. I'm not going to switch it to the camera angle now I've got it working. Catherine's just said, don't change the camera angle now you've got it working again. No, I'm not going to. If I switch it, that's what seems to switch it off. But that is how I would sentiment that card. Yeah? And it just, I think I love that. I think I'm more proud of that than any other one I've done, to be fair. And yeah, it is really annoying me now. I might have to wait because next week I've got some little flowers coming that we might work really nicely on that. So I might get my odd number back with that. So, sorry, everything's been a bit of a mess, guys. I've got so many other things I wanted to show you and so many other demos I'd got ready and prepared. I'm going to do 2 quick ones. So what I've done here, I just want to show you. So what I've done here is my old trick. So I've used, question, the card would look nice with the lights in. Yeah, it would, Susan. You're absolutely right. And I think the lights should be back next week, I'm hoping. I think Janie said. All I've done is I've put 3 of these together. So I've cut this 3 times in white. And I've stuck them on top of each other onto a solid piece of white. And then I've just used the sparkle pens. So I've used the festive sparkle pens. I'm going to put another little coating of red on because I can. And all I've done is used gold on the outside. But you see how easy it is when you've got 3 stuck together, because it gives you like a tray to put it in. And I could then drop glossy accents in this afterwards, which would give me an absolutely beautiful raised glass look. Yeah. Leslie says you could use blue and have it as a blue tip for spring cards. You could, Leslie. In fact, I need to do that. Or maybe you could. I've got to show this. Leslie has made, look at that with a Merry Christmas. How beautiful is that? Leslie realised that all of the new panels, 6x4, fit onto the handbag die from last year. Yeah. And and she's realised the sentiment fits exactly because it's in that 4:6 ratio. So how stunning is that? Could you use glitter card for his chest? Of course you could. You can do whatever you want, Sarah Jane. There are no rules. I don't set you any rules saying you've got to use that. But yeah, cut him out and paper piece him in red glitter card. That would look amazing. And remember, the glitter card, we've still got that with the bells tonight on as a special offer with 25% off. So this is another, as we'd say, fill your boots show. So if you're wanting more of the glitter card, go and look through on the Art of Craft, because there's literally, we've left that, we've put that 25% back on. So all I've done here is just cut another one, and look what happens when I put that other one on. How neat he looks. Look, messy, neat. So you save a last one to put on. And what I've done is I've done his beak and his legs. I've done in silver, his body in gold. And of course, I want to add the eye. So, did I keep an eye? I thought I'd kept an eye for this, but we've made a mess. So what we're going to do is, where's the piece? I wanted to show you how I do this. Oh, terrible. Right, what I'm going to do is drop the die back on. I'm going to grab my Craft Artist Micron pen, and I'm going to colour his eye on. So use the die like a guide. It fits in to give you his eye perfect in black. And then again, take a white pen. And it takes a little bit more. Let's just get you going. Come on. Oh, I laid it down, didn't I, rather than standing it up in my box. He's going to play up with me now. Put a little white dot in. He is there. And then what I've done is I've cut with a scrap piece in brown. But look how he frames beautifully. How does he stands out as if he's 3D up rather than in. So again, a little bit of spray glue for speed. And I'm just going to find him right. There we go. And then I've used the rest of the dies, and we're going to run out of time. So what I've done here is I've used the same frame, but this time I've made the frame in brown. Look. How beautiful does that work? So again, a little bit of foam tape. Leslie only posted the bags Friday. Yeah, you did. And it was the robins that I'd have liked earlier, and I got them 2 days. And then, but the bags came yesterday, and so did Nicola's, which she'd only posted Friday. So it's almost like they're trying to catch up on the weekend. So I'm adding a little bit of foam tape onto here. And then I'm just going to put him through. I will show you pictures on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will show you the rest of the bags. We're hoping we can release the Christmas, the 6x4s then. So hoping we can do that. And then I'm just going to go the whole thing straight onto a little bit bigger, a 7x7 card blank. And again, if you wanted to, you know, add some foliage, add some little mini poinsettia. Oh no, they're not out yet. Add some, yeah, wait. But you can go crazy. But look, the same die, 2 totally different looks, all made using that wonderful brand new exclusive bundles. Right, I've got 2 more demos that I'm not going to get to. I've not shown you any of the Merry Christmas, so we're going to forgo the overhead. We're going to try the front on again because we're running out of time. So let's go. Hello, hello. So I'm going to show you. So this is the card we've made tonight. And remember, there are 4 videos all ready to show you how to make different ones. Love this one. I think this is my favourite I've made all the way. Just wants one more holly or a few flowers. I'll add some flowers on maybe. Then the other card we've made tonight. Not everything's stuck on. Let's let that fall off. is our beautiful glittery robin. And of course we did make our black robin. Now I'll be back on Craft Cave at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. If we're doing a midweek catch up, I'll let you guys know, which if we do one, it'll be 6 o'clock on Wednesday, but I'll let you know. But the black one, but I will be using all of the robin and everything. But I've got to show you the samples from the girls. So there we go. These are, that one I didn't even photograph. I put it on my desk because it's so pretty. But look, using that absolutely gorgeous Hawthorne embossing folder. So if you have missed out on those, this is a really good chance to get hold of them at an amazing price, because I know some companies charge nearly that for a 3D embossing folder. But there's the retro snowflake background. But you can see that Merry Christmas is big enough to make a card on its own. So you can see here, here's the one I did for the video. So you can watch the video on this one, and Junie's brilliantly put instructions on. This is a mantelpiece pleaser by our Leslie, using those beautiful crystal snowflowers. And if you look in the middle, how festive does it look? She's used the Zora flower. Always look at mixing your flowers together, because you can do so well with them. Beautiful one from Carol here, using one of last year's dies and a button. Love that. This has got to be one of our Carols. Very clever, look. Beautiful. But look how these sentiments, Leslie, of course, fitting the 4x6 frame, make an entire card on their own. On their own with the 7x5 frame makers. Here's with the frame maker from that robin and that frame. Just that you're going to use all year round. In fact, that one, I'm going to use it loads. And I've got to show you this one. How clever is this of our Carol? She's put on the back, robin has been cut with the dies in wool felt. Look, it's in felt. I'm going to try and demo. I want to copy that. I need to get some brown felt. So I want to copy that. But here, see how the robin on its own and the frame work perfectly with that sentiment. So you can mix and match this. This is why these have been put together. These are still not massive cards. Love that. Look, our Leslie's put it on with one of the stockings. I'm expecting a card like that being made by our Nicola. So thank you for joining me tonight. I am sorry that it's been a real bit messy with the cameras and things. We'll try and work out what the heck's going on with the software, because that seems to be what the problem is. And no, it hasn't frozen on the overhead, but it has done every other time. Are we a stronger signal? Nope, no different. All right, but thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Everything I've been using is available on the Art of Craft. Have a look at the card pack. Have a look at the glitter and the bells and things, because they've got 25% off, and that will not last forever. But tonight's main deal is this beautiful set. And I've got to say that I'm really proud of this one. I was saying to Jane earlier, if you saw how many robin designs I've got in my files that have never gone to production because I can never get them right, to get these two this year right, I am so chuffed. I really am. So I hope you love them as much as I do. Remember, it's £26.10. That's with a 10% discount. It's free P&P in the UK because it's over £20. And they will be sent winging their way out to you from tomorrow onwards, because they're here. They physically arrived. And they are exclusive to us here at the Art of Craft. So you're not going to see these on telly or anywhere. And remember, there are 4 videos already filmed, and our June's done the instructions, I think, now for all of them. Bless her. She works so hard. Please, if you get a chance, say thank you to our June. She works so hard doing those instructions. They're so good to everyone. So everything's there to help and support you, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. Take care, guys. Good night.